This is one of the most evil men in New York history. Lemuel Warren Smith was born July 23, 1941, in Amsterdam, New York. Reports indicate he was the son of a minister and was raised in a very religious household, but that didn't stop him from becoming a criminal. When he was 11, he claims he almost smothered a girl to death, although no one has been able to substantiate this. On January 21, 1958, 46-year-old mother of 5, Dorothy Waterstreet, was beaten to death and robbed in Amsterdam, New York. Smith was the prime suspect in the case. Police found her jewelry in his school locker, but he was not charged. He decided to get out of town, and he moved to Baltimore, Maryland. He abducted a woman and was in the process of killing her when a witness walked in. Smith was arrested soon after the assault, and with 2 witnesses pointing the finger at him, he ended up receiving a 20-year sentence on April 12, 1959. He did 10 years and was paroled in May 1968. He moved back to New York and immediately started to commit crimes again. On May 20, 1968, he abducted and violated a woman. A man and his wife intervened, and the woman was able to escape and live another day. The pervert couldn't control his urges, and later that day, he kidnapped one of his mother's friends and violated her. She convinced Smith to release her, and she quickly turned him in. Even though he had a prior conviction for a violent crime and committed 2 brutal attacks in less than 24 hours, he was given 4 to 15 years in prison after pleading guilty to first-degree attempted rape. He got out in October 1976, and on November 24, 1976, he killed 48-year-old Robert Hederman and Hederman's secretary, Margaret Byron. According to CBS, Smith tried to sell them a painting and snapped when they offered him $10. Police knew Smith worked nearby, and he was the prime suspect, but they didn't have enough evidence to arrest him. On December 23, 1976, he violated and killed 24-year-old Joan Rochberg in Colony, New York. Once again, police identified Smith as the prime suspect, but he continued to walk free. By July, authorities still didn't have enough to pick him up for his previous offenses. He killed and mutilated 30-year-old Marilee Wilson. On August 19, 1977, 18-year-old Marianne Maggio was kidnapped and violated by Smith. As he sat in the passenger seat and forced her to drive toward Albany, New York, police pulled the car over and arrested Smith. Days after his arrest, police matched his bite pattern to a bite on one of his victims. On March 5, 1978, Smith confessed to 5 murders, including the murder of Dorothy Waterstreet when he was just 16 years old. He was trying to convince prosecutors he was insane, but it didn't work. He was convicted of multiple rapes, kidnappings, and the murders of Robert Hederman and his assistant. He received multiple life sentences, and prosecutors decided not to pursue the charges for the other murders. In 1981, Smith was serving time at Green Haven Correctional, a maximum security facility. On May 15, 1981, someone came to pick up 31-year-old corrections officer Donna Payant at the end of her shift. She had only been on the job for 1 month, and when she didn't come out, officers searched the entire prison, but they didn't find her. Attention was turned to a dump site 20 miles away. After an extensive search, they found the mother of 3's dead body. Reports indicate it was the first time that a female officer was murdered inside a prison. Payant's body had several bite marks, and they were quickly connected to Smith. He was charged with her murder on June 6, 1981. He was found guilty in April 1983, and 2 months later, he was sentenced to death. He gave an interview, blaming his legal troubles on his skin color.
Do you deserve to die?
Do I deserve to die? Not according to my standards. Others feel differently.
How does it feel knowing you're now condemned to die and you're forced to look death in the face?
I've looked death in the face ever since I was born black.
You're not saying that everything that's happened to you in your life has happened because you're black.
This has something to do with it.
A year later, his sentence was commuted to life on appeal. The now 83-year-old Smith is serving his sentence at Wendy Correctional in Alden, New York.